Hey Pirate Kings, Queens, and Emperors. Let's give you a quick update today on what's going on in the One Piece Simulator world. So I think last update version 1.15c, I like to use the letters for like bug fixes and the numbers for like actual new features or full card sets. Like I think we switched to 15 when set 3 came out. That is up and running and mostly bug-free as of the C version. I think there's some pretty minor issues. Wanda can summon herself. There's a couple issues apparently with forcing your opponent to return Dawn with Magellan, and they're kind of hard to repro. I think they might actually be like network lag related, which is unfortunate because I don't really have a good setup for that for testing locally that I should probably have to put together to fix them. But yeah, other than that, as this person tries to get themselves killed, the build is pretty stable at the moment. For the first time since I started it, really, I'm feeling like I can maybe take a week off here and there from working on it like a full-time job. So that's what we're going to be doing. You know, Mommy and Daddy still love each other very much. I'll still be working on the sim quite a lot, getting the new cards out as fast as I can. But I think from now on, hopefully, I can work on the sim every other week instead of every single week as all of my free time. So if you've been waiting on me to work on my other projects that I support, like the Idolmaster English patch, or maybe even like my old Speedrunner Simulator mobile game, we might be seeing some updates for those hopefully in the near future here while I take a little bit of a hiatus. Not even a hiatus, every other week, you know, a 1 week at a time break to work on other projects, or maybe even play a video game, or even play the One Piece card game. So yeah, so I'm excited. It's in a good spot. The code rework that took months longer than I thought it would is in, and it does make it much faster to get new cards in. Once the code rework was done, all of the set 3 cards, I knocked them out in like 6 days. So that was really nice, even with like the new Ace needing whole new phases. Black starter deck I think took an additional few days by itself because the new Bond Clay has weird effects. I guess it's yellow starter deck that has the Ace with new weird effects, where it's like he doesn't actually get KO'd until you resolve a new action. So both of those were kind of a pain, but in general, hopefully going forward, a lot of the new cards are going to be really fast to implement, which is great. A little detail, if you're curious on how that works, is the code used to be very phase dependent. So if you, on play, could return a character 3 cost or less to hand, that was its own code. And then if you, on attack, could return a character 3 cost or less to hand, that was an entirely separate chunk of code that I had to implement. And so now I've rewritten the simulator in a way where actions are their own thing. And so basically, I just say like, oh, this one triggers on play, this one triggers on attack. All they do is return to hand, and then you know, when it sees that an action has been triggered, it goes and resolves that action independent of what phase you're in. And so that's why in like the 1.14 builds, you saw a lot of weird things where like both players would think it was their turn afterwards, and that's because like when an action resolved, it had to, you know, the new code is when an action resolves, you got to go back and figure out what phase you're in, instead of each phase having its own action handling code. And so there were a couple of weird oddities with both players, like thinking, oh, an action resolved in the attacking phase, go back to my attacking phase, when in fact it was, oh, go back to the opponent's attacking phase for one player. So yeah, so hopefully everything's pretty stable now with the build. I've actually been able to get in and play some matches with you guys. There have been some perma bans going out. If you're being naughty on there, you're saying bad words, Not even like, people cuss on there, that's fine, whatever. Sometimes it gets picked up in the filters, sometimes it doesn't. I still look at them manually and I'm like, okay, this person's just upset that they got unlucky versus someone who's like literally throwing slurs at people. That's usually what gets you permabanned, or naming yourself slurs, that'll get you permabanned. I've worked on this simulator for I think over a year now. A little history. When the One Piece card game was first announced, I was in the middle of some work on a Fire Emblem Cypher simulator, which I kind of dropped because the game ended. They announced end of life for the game, so I had like most of set 1 for Fire Emblem done, and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't really want to keep working on it if this isn't going anywhere. And so I kind of had the framework already for a card game. It wasn't, I considered it a little bit of multiplayer. It was actually pretty good. Had to rewrite most of it for One Piece, but now I kind of had done it once, and so I knew a lot of the pitfalls to avoid. And I still ended up rewriting all the code anyways, like I said. But yeah. So that's the history of like why I had the One Piece card game simulator out, I think, a lot faster than I normally would have been able to if I first heard of the game and was like, oh, I want to make a simulator for this. So thank Fire Emblem for that. And where am I going? We'll just do some life updates. Got over COVID, got over a bunch of illnesses. I think we got the Nova virus. I definitely was up literally puking all night, like 2 nights in a row. So that's kind of why that whole code rework took a bit longer than expected too. And then I managed to get into 3 of the 4 online regionals. Now, if you're not aware, I don't really have much of a local scene. Thankfully, last few weeks, a few people have been showing up. So we've been able to have like little 4-player tournaments, and that's it. That is the only store in like 2.5 hours of driving from me that even runs One Piece. And we've been getting little like 4-player tournaments, so that's been great. But before that, it was like I would show up every week, not know if anyone else was coming, and if someone else would come, I'd be able to play them for some promos, which was nice. And if no one came, then sometimes I got to like buy a participation promo. But yeah, so these online regionals, I didn't get into the Carta Magica one on Saturday, but I did get into the Pro Play Games one on Sunday, and my goal coming in was to get 2 wins. 2 wins before I got like 3 losses and called it. And I started the day 5-0, running Kinemon, pretty popular. Kinemon is one that I could run, because I only got 2 booster boxes pre-ordered like 9 months ago. Didn't have my full set of the new 4-cost Yamato, only had a couple Odins. Decided not to even run Odin. We can talk about that more a little later, if I break down my deck maybe after the next 2 regionals here. But yeah, started 5-0, really surprised, went really well. Managed to hype myself up enough that I think I'd lost the next 3 rounds. Now my first loss was crazy, because in my first loss, I might break that one down. I managed to whiff, completely bomb 2 Momo searches, which I thought was pretty impossible in my deck, because I think it's more Wano Country than Supernovas. But yeah, two failed Momo searches tilted me pretty hard in that game, and that's what I blamed the loss on. And then I went and I lost to, I don't even remember what the second guy was. And then the last one I lost to was, I think Nicholas, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Chaker. And he ended up going 12th. I think he's the only person who got top 16 in both of the online regionals so far, so I'm not too upset losing to him. And then I managed to win my last one and actually placed top 61, I think was my position. So I got an extra gold Dawn, extra like event participation pack or whatever, which is something, but it kind of feels bad. Like I spent 9 hours on this thing, and instead of just bombing out after the first 3, and you get like 1 extra Dawn card and 1 more event promo, which it's something. But it would have been really nice to go top 32. But I can't complain, where I was hoping to get 2 wins. So yeah, I've got we'll see if I actually play these next 2 regionals this weekend, because 2 9-hour days back to back sounds a little rough. It's very possible if I don't like start 3-0, I might just drop out after 3. We'll see. See how my wife is feeling, because she's got to watch the kid all day, and she's got to wake up early for these and stuff. So, if she's getting cranky, especially like maybe I do the first full day, and then if she's not feeling it Sunday, I'll drop out early. But yeah, so that's where life's at right now. Finishing up my break week from One Piece today. Well, today's Thursday, so tomorrow-ish, maybe Saturday, and then back to working on One Piece bug fixes. I'll hopefully have I get like 10 DMs or Discord mentions or whatever a day. A lot of them are like people with like really basic tech questions, like, hey, my computer's out of storage, how do I clear storage so I can install the One Piece simulator? It's like, so at some point I'd like to get a tutorial video set up on like basic installation, maybe link to that TikTok for how to install the iOS build and all that, just to get some of those questions off my back. I really appreciate everybody in the Discord who's been helping out with the tech support, helping out with like the alternative arts and all that cool stuff. Huge shout outs to everyone there. But yeah, I'll have a more detailed video pretty soon. I'm at my destination here, but I would like to break down like exactly how many people are playing. Spoiler alert, it's a lot. We're talking like almost more than 8,000 people a day, and like more than 200,000 matches a month. So yeah, that'll be a fun video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you hopefully soon. Start making this an actual content creator channel at some point, now that One Piece Sim is calming down. So see you guys soon.